Okay, so we got bellbook versus Bandit. Bandit is run in Mexico, and bellbook is run the Chinese. Okay, so we got a China versus a Mexico. So I think we ran into this yesterday, and what I was able to basically tell from it is it's a very complex situation, right? And if you don't do very well as the Mexico and really push ahead very strongly, China will just beat you out by nature. So gotta have to be careful here. Also, I don't know quite what the Mexico's going for, because one thing I notice here is the Explorer has not tried to go for the trading post yet over here, so I don't know if they're going for a revolt or what. Okay, they're sort of circling back to this area, so we'll check out on that pretty soon. Nah, Explorer's going up towards the coin, so might be a standard Mexico here, yeah. From what I recall, if you're going standard non-revolt Mexico, China normally has a pretty good grasp at fighting that usually. Because China can overwhelm the Mexicans pretty easily with their stuff, and it's just really good for them. I could be wrong too. We'll see. We'll see what both sides are playing. Okay, so what's China up to here? So 2. So you got your sea export. Alright, this is clearly naked fast fortress. This is going to be like a naked or mostly naked fast fortress, because you do have the possibility of going step riders and then coin, or vice versa. So that's what we're going to see probably, is these two cards. And then you got the big plethora in Age 3. So you got your Chengdao, you got your Arc, you got your Meteor Hammers, your Flails, Biang. You also have your Iron Cap Prince's Army. Gives you 2 flamethrowers with Chengdaos. I used to love this card when I was doing rank games. I was in love with this card. I just loved it. I loved having all the anti-cap from the Chengdaos and then adding in 2 flamethrowers. I thought it was so nifty. And so we ran into them in Fast Industrials, and I kind of ran away from it. Yep, you even got both mercenaries. You got the Iron Troop and you got the Manchu intervention. So yeah, it's really going to be an Age 3 war, I think, for China. Maybe even Age 4, but no 1,000 coin there, so it's most likely going to be just Age 3 for China. Yep. They do go with the French allies. They're going to pick up the 400 food to get that nice amount of food for the Wonder there. We'll probably see Porcelain Tower. When you go for naked fast fortress as China, it's always going to be Porcelain Tower, because that's what brings you in the necessary resources to make it work. And from there, it'll be Confucian Academies, so you can get the free skirmishers, and then you can have the queue of the Flying Crows starting too. Yeah. Mexico, though, is running a deck called 1v1. This will probably be just regular H2 combat, I think. However, we don't see any real cards in H3. Right? We don't see any sort of 1,000 coin at all, so this is really up to the birds what ends up happening here, so I have no idea. So, goes for Texacala. Does put a more defensive Hacienda up. Now, it is in the front, but it is not like the Haciendas we've seen with the revolts, where they're like either over here or in this sort of crevasse. So it's playing a little bit more passively and defensively. So let's see how that ends up working. So yes, we do see a Porcelain Tower here for China. This is going to be a naked fast fortress into some of these power cards in Age 3. Just so you know. Yep. Now, going back to the Mexico, now that they've gone their Hacienda and 2 settlers, what would be nice fast fortress, fast industrial deck? Oh yeah, absolutely. He did a pretty good one, you know. I mean, the only thing I would say is, if you do want to make it a fast industrial deck, you got to add the 1,000 coin in there. Otherwise, you're forcing your vills to sit there and macro for a good amount of time before you can even get to that Age 4. Yeah. That's the only critique I would have if it is meant for Age 4 gameplay. In which it looks like it is, because look at all the cards here that he's got. This is like an Age 4 plethora of cards. So if you do want to be a fast industrial deck, you do need to take out probably... I don't know, which one would I take out? I would probably take out the Chengdao and put in 1,000 gold. Yeah, probably that one. You know, because here's the thing. If you need anti-cav, you can send the intervention with the British consulate. And then if you have the food, I would go just for this and get a huge batch of Chengdaos and then have some flamethrowers as well to boot. So yeah, that's just me. I consider Chengdaos to be pretty weak and pathetic myself, you know, because I'd rather go to age 4, pick up old Dynasty reforms and get 50% stats boost on all of my you know, my Quang pikemen then, because then it feels like you're working a little bit better there. Just saying. So picking up diplomatic intrigue right now. So basically, Chinese can either do what the last China did and sort of just double dip into Germany, pick up those trickle techs, or he can just go to British and have a red coat batch ready to go in age 3. Either or is a pretty good way to set up, I think, and that should be pretty strategic. But we'll see, though. We'll see what happens here. Alright, Mexico again, the barracks are stable. They are going Soldado rush, it looks like. So they're rushing with Soldados. Soldados, pretty strong unit. It's basically a 2-pop musketeer, but because the stats are very elite. It starts out with 300 HP, almost as much HP as a veteran Janissary with Endurance School, 36 range attack, beautiful stats. Plus their siege is pretty good too, because they count as sort of like a grenade trooper, so not like a siege trooper almost. So they have the siege of like 32, which is great. So there he goes, starting to siege on the village now. Very good. He can take that village out. That could be pretty good here. Let's see if he can, right? Because here's the thing, he's sending out a batch of those redcoats now, but if it's a fight between redcoats and Soldados, the Soldados will beat them. No problem, yeah. Okay, let's see. Can he get this, wait a second. He wants to get this village down so bad, yeah. He's gonna get it down at this point, yep. Ah, whoa, 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 whoa. Take that out. Finish your job. You do a job, you finish it. Didn't your parents teach you anything? Finish your job, because now he's gonna get another shipment to punish you with. If you just took out the village, he would have been housed and you would have been okay for a while. See, he did a boo-boo. He did a boo-boo to himself there. So now what he's gonna do? He's gonna get in more redcoats now. Man, you gotta watch out for that stuff. Gotta watch out for that stuff, dude. You gotta be careful, you know. Gotta pay attention to that sort of thing. And he's also going to train some disciples too to boot, so yeah. I can't say for certain how Mexico's going to do here. He's going for a mix of Shinankos and Soldados. Now the Shinankos have multipliers against the skirmishers. They also have multipliers against any sort of like cavalry, so they'll actually have multipliers against these disciples, which is pretty funky, but they do. Alright, Soldados targeting a redcoat. Oh, but look out for all these redcoats here. Be careful. These are veteran redcoats. They're a little bit tougher than age 2 ones. Right now, I can't quite tell what the Mexico's trying to do here, but it's something. Do they have any other cards? Maybe he's gonna get some Soltitiradores, perhaps. I would probably get the Soltitiradores now. Shinankos, get all these cards. Maybe even try to get some of the Nabos in there. Try to get as much troops as you can, because right now you're dealing with a pretty hefty stack of veteran muskets right now with mixed in skirms. As for the China, he does need to get another village, right? Now would be the time, Mexico, to take this village out, right? Stall yourself some time here. Because if you can, maybe you have a little bit of a shot. Maybe you will, so we'll see if you can end up doing it, yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh man. Ooh. Oh no, yeah, so this is over, man. Oh, he revolted. He revolted with Central America. Oh. Okay, what does he do now? He can get Santa Maria's fire. Is he gonna get a falconet? What's his plan, man? He's gonna train some. That was a very delayed Central America, man. He should have done that sooner. Like, if he did that a little earlier, I think he might have been somewhere by now. But no, a little too late there, man. Gotta be smarter than that. So now he's got all these shipments. He's got the meteor hammers out. He's got the iron flails. Now you got like nothing to show for it. So he's gonna run the house with you at this point. Yeah, that basically him deciding to neglect finishing his job on this building cost him the game. Because he really needed as much time as he could because his opponent was an age ahead of him and had better troops. So anything you can do to impede their progress, do it. Yeah, that's where I think things fell apart here, honestly. Yeah, that's what I would say right now. Yeah, basically. Yeah, let's see what happens though. Should be interesting. Man. Oh boy. GG. Good China though. Beautiful China there. See, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to, if you try to play standard Mexico against China, it always fumbles in your face. But I think this Mexico had a chance though, if he just took out that village. But he didn't, so he fumbled any chance he had at like overcoming the odds there. Yeah. Alright, good match though. I like that one. That was a nice one. It was action packed. That's what we like to see, I think. So, yep. Let's go on to the next match now and find it. Yep. Where are we at now? Look at all these games here. We got tons of stuff here. This is insane, man. Yeah, absolutely.